And we're
And we're
live.
live.
What's going on, everybody? So, I know y'all expecting this Friday Night Smackdown review, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there first because this was even though it was like a video, it was introduced as a video package on SmackDown. I decided that it deserves its own little segment before we get to the SmackDown review, so that way we don't take up a lot of time doing the SmackDown review talking about it. So we're gonna talk about it right here. We're gonna start this video off with the announcement of the SmackDown United or the Women's United States Championship as because of the reports. I can't really say SmackDown, but more than likely SmackDown exclusive Women's United States Championship. So before we start getting into what we feel about this title, let me put you into some context. So on the show, Nick Aldis announced there's a segment where Nick Aldis, and I didn't realize this, but apparently that I guess you gotta check your socials. I guess that's what I get for not checking my socials. But Nick Aldis on Twitter and Instagram or whatever had said that he had a major announcement for later on in SmackDown. So I guess it was a good thing for me because it came as a huge surprise. But so yeah, so it's a 7-minute SmackDown tour. I think it's towards the end of the night. Yeah, it's right before the final segment of the night. And somebody at the store. I think Shay over there getting some groceries. But no, yeah. So at the
Yes.
before the final segment, uh we get the unveiling of this Women's United States Championship. So we do have an official look. I know it's hard for you guys to see, but it's basically the set. It looks like the United States Championship, that which we call the LA Knight wears, except we got a white strap. Um, and it will be on SmackDown, and from wordings from Michael Cole is that women from both Raw and SmackDown will be able to have a chance to compete for this title. Now this is where things get a little complicated because the multiple reports that we got since this was announced. We have multiple reports. First, we got the report, and I'm going to explain why this is relevant, because we got the report from PW Insider that says that Raw and SmackDown, because remember, this has popped up multiple times before, but now PW has confirmed that Raw and SmackDown will indeed be 3 hours going forward after when January hits. So when Raw goes to Netflix, so that I'm guessing that week when Raw goes to Netflix, both shows will be 3 hours in that week. I don't know for sure, but we do know for sure for Raw, but I don't know for SmackDown. I don't know. Maybe SmackDown goes to 3 hours the week after, but the assumption is that it's going to be that same week that Raw goes to Netflix. So the way how this connects to the mid-card title is the multiple reports, since there's multiple reports detailing about what this possibly could be. Basically all the reports are reporting that the as of right now, the Women's United States Championship will be defended on both Raw and SmackDown. But with the news of it being 3 hours, both shows are going to 3 hours in January, it's safe to assume that either this coming Monday on Raw or in the Raws leading up to the Netflix, especially with Tiffany Stratton's interview talking about a Netflix title that would serve as the mid card. That could be either it's going to be the Women's Intercontinental Championship, which I think that's where it's going to be, or it could be like she said, a Netflix title. Either way, there's most likely going to be a mid card women's title on Raw, and all this compounded is to say that this is going to be a two shows that are going to have two different titles, and that they're going to bring up a lot of women from NXT to fill out the rosters to take up these titles so they can actually have the time to plot stories and rivalry and stuff for these titles. Now, with that being said, My initial problem, because even though these are speculation, rumors, and stuff about what if they do get a mid card title for Raw stuff, we're going to go under the assumption that this is going to be a title that could be defended just like the women's tag team championships on both Raw and SmackDown. My problem with that is that actually makes it worse. See, the problem that Raw and SmackDown had is beyond the main title picture, you had nothing for these women on both of these shows to do. And with a brand split, even though you could call it maybe a soft brand split, but with a brand split, it kind of make things weird. Because what does the women on Raw do? Like they say Meat Chan becomes the first women's United States champion. What are the women on Raw going to do? And when they don't have something to do for them on Raw, the writers and Triple H, they kind of like have everybody on Raw like just in the ether, just sitting there doing stuff that doesn't really amount to anything. And then vice versa, if you got somebody on Raw who wins the title, and then they beefing with somebody else on Raw, and then somebody from SmackDown, it gets kind of weird trying to do this back and forth thing. So what I'm getting at is that my problem is that this doesn't, if it is just going to be, let's just say they're not getting the title on Raw, and this is just going to be the title that could be defended on both programs, that brings the same problem. It doesn't fix the problem 100%. It fixes it a little bit, but it don't fix it 100% because then you got women who just still won't be doing anything. And then if you're not going to book it, and then the booking is the other problem too. Triple H has shown the signs that he's fixing the booking enough to where this is going to be something. Because there's no indication we're getting rid of the women's tag team titles. So with that, it's like, okay, well, we're not getting rid of the women's tag team titles, and we're going to and we could get possibly 4 mid-card 4 titles now, 4 titles. You got the women's tag team, then you got the women's Intercontinental and women's United States. All this, something needs it needs to be 3 hours for both shows. But the thing is, we got to start trying to break this stuff up. That's the other problem. So now if we do introduce, let's say we do get all of these titles, now you got to try to space things out. This brings a whole different thing with the book. This all comes back to booking for me. And I'm trying to say is I'm just weary. I'm excited, but also weary of the fact that how is this going to go booking wise? How are we going to make time for the tag team championships? How are we going to make time for the women's Intercontinental and the women's United States? How are we going to, because trust me, if you want these titles to get over, these can't be 5-minute matches. These got to be at least a good 10 to 15 minutes, hopefully 15. Like, we need good time to build these up and it doesn't need, for the love of God, don't give it to somebody like Bailey or
I'm glad that you mentioned that point. Because that's what
like, I'm trying to basically anybody that's a world that got world championship gold or has been a world champion, do not give it to them. No Charlotte, no Bailey, no Rhea, no Liv. Raquel is fine. Anybody that's basically haven't held world championship gold, it needs to be somebody new. We need to build somebody up, and it will make sense. That's why I said we need something for both shows, because I know Shay has said that if they do introduce one on Raw, she want Natalya to be the champion for that one. I would say either Natalya or Lyra for Raw, but somebody like Chelsea Green, Michin, even Candice LeRae, it needs to be somebody new, and we need good programs and good solid booking around it. And my problem is I'm excited, but I'm also kind of weary because I love Triple H. Trust me, I do. I love Triple H, and I love his booking because that guy getting twisted. His booking is not. I won't say it's an A plus perfect, but it's definitely like a B plus to an A minus. And so he's not horrible, but it's still a lot that he could work on. And my problem is, if we're getting all these titles, even if we just get one of these mid card titles and still got the women's tag team championship, it's still a booking issue that I'm afraid of. But that's just my take on it. That's how I feel about this mid card women's championship being announced. It's a good thing. I'm glad they did it. We've been wanting them to do it. But I don't want them just to be, I don't want this title floating between two shows. This needs to stay on SmackDown, and they need to introduce the women's Intercontinental on Raw. And we need to have both. We need to have all these women competing so they can have storylines. Now, I get it. Maybe if they do that, you can't have every person on every pay-per-view. But if you can't have it on the pay-per-view, give them a good solid Monday Night Raw or a good solid Friday Night Smackdown. Hell, Saturday Night Main Event. Let them shine on that too. You know, we still don't have we don't know anything about when we're gonna see somebody be crowned or how they even gonna be crowned. I guess we gotta wait and see in the coming weeks. But yeah, I don't want this title. That's one of the biggest things. I don't want it to be floating between two brands because it's just gonna be the same. We're just gonna have women not doing anything. But that's just my take. What about you, Khris?
So with me, the point I was gonna bring up, what you said, you don't want to see the title like on someone like Bailey or like Charlotte. So the thing was, I can see them at least holding that belt possibly first, simply because they want to put like some prestige behind the title to, kind of like how the men's United States title is like people that held it before, and so they just want to build like some prestige to the title instead of like just doing it like with just some random person that never had the title. Like let's say like Candice LeRae get the title, and she hasn't been like women's like world champion or women's WWE women's champion or anything like that. So, but I do know more than likely they'll possibly come out with the women's Intercontinental Championship on Raw. So maybe since January is coming, approaching us really fast, really fast right now. Yeah, because it's already like we only got 3 more weeks until Survivor Series, and then after that, it's gonna be like December 1st, and then we're like, well, dang. Then we get Saturday Main Event, and then after that, it's gonna be Christmas, and then like, oh shoot, we're in January, New Year's, all that stuff. So, I really feel like
I think after Saturday Night Main Event, we don't get another pay-per-view until February. That's the Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah, the first week of February is the Rumble, so they'll probably do some good things on the show as far as like Raw and SmackDown. But as far as when you were mentioning Raw being 3 hours and SmackDown, of course, will be 3 hours for the first time. I think it'll be very interesting to actually see because more than likely between hour 3 and hour 1 is more likely going to be like some bloodline stuff, but it also gives us the opportunity to see who's going to fight for that WWE United States Women's Championship as well. But as I was saying before, I think we will get the Women's Intercontinental Championship as well and put some prestige behind it, and maybe let someone who's been like a multi-time women's champion actually hold that title for a little while, and then our underdog just comes up and actually beat them and stuff like that. So that's what I feel. That's what I feel like it's going to happen. Now, a lot of people did say, now one person, and actually a couple people did say that what is the need for that belt? And I was like, don't say that. I was like, I know you're AEW.
You're gonna spark a whole rage. You talk about what's the need for it? The need? Have you not watched the product? There's a need for it.
And some of the people I watch, I'm not going to shout out any channels or anything, but they're like some AEW advocates. And so I was like, well, what about, I commented and said, well, what about the AEW trios titles? What's the need for that? And what's the need for the
don't get it started, because they got so many titles that don't have a need for
it. Ring of Honor and all that stuff or whatever on the AEW show. Like, come on now. So, but yeah, it's definitely needed because You see more Intercontinental Champion, United States Championship matches with the men versus you do with the women. You'll probably see your main stars like a Jade and Bianca, and then you'll probably see whomever else like Liv and stuff like that. But you won't see like the other people like a EO Sky or something like that. Even though she's about to fight for the belt, depending. And then with as far as her, she could be one of the people that could win that title as well.
No, it
So
needs to be Kyrie. It needs to be Kyrie. If
yeah, yeah,
anybody from Damage Control is either Kyrie or Dakota when she
yeah,
retires, it needs to be one of them two.
right. But as far as I remember you saying, like maybe they should do like some call ups. So I think
No, well,
having
that's what the reports were saying, that because it was going to both shows was going to 3 hours, and we're gonna possibly get in. Well, we already got the SmackDown Women's United States Championship, but we
right.
could possibly get in the Women's Intercontinental. They say the report saying they're gonna be bringing up women from NXT to help fill out both rosters to accommodate both titles.
Right. Okay. Cool. But I definitely know Roxanne is gonna get called up for sure. I definitely know that Jason James gonna get called up because it's been way overdue. It's been like what 2 or 3
Her and
years.
TV Dolan. It's been way overdue for both of them.
Yeah, it's wow. But yeah, I that's my take, on Raw and SmackDown moving to 3 hours starting in January. Well, next year. I know Raw is gonna be 3 hours in January, but not sure on how they're gonna do SmackDown. But we'll see when January
Yeah,
6th does come for Raw, and then what is it like the 9th or whatever, 9th or 10th for SmackDown that week?
yeah, something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
but
yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. Like I said, according to PW Insider, that's the part. That's the people who broke the news that Raw and SmackDown will indeed be 3 hours. I mean, if we get both of these titles, they're gonna need it. They're gonna need it. I will say, you know what? That one of the best things about the women, if they do have both the Intercontinental, if we do get the women's Intercontinental Championship, like how we just got the women's United States, it brings structure and kind of an order to both shows. Because now that little third hour or that little time where you don't know what to put on, you could just do the same thing with the men's you do with the women now. Something could be devoted to the main stories, and then you can have something for the secondary stories. You don't have to have this weird. What do we got to figure out to do for this whole third hour? This whole second half of the second half leading into the third hour. You don't have to have this weird what do we do thing with now you could kind of just go, well, we focus on the main, the mid, and then we had a little bit of a teaser of what we could expect coming, whatever we do. um but yeah, I don't know. I still think that, because I know you were saying like somebody like Charlotte or Bailey could have the mid card titles to put prestige on it. I think you do. It needs to be somebody new so you could build that prestige with somebody new and build a star. That was the other problem with the booking, is that we're not building stars. For all the good things that Triple H do, it's a lot of stars he needs to build. And I think this is the perfect opportunity to build a new star instead of putting somebody who's already established. I mean, yeah, granted, you're right. If you put somebody established on there, you can bring in some prestige, like how John Cena and everybody did with the United States. But but that still doesn't solve building up new stars problem. That's because when WWE gets they has tunnel vision on a main star like Charlotte or Bailey or anybody, they kind of don't let them build up new stars. They kind of like focus on them being dominant, and then like, oh wait a minute, we forgot to build up a new star to beat this dominant person. So it kind of like that's why I say let it be somebody new. That way you could start off building somebody new. And then maybe down the line, or Charlotte or Becky or Naomi or somebody, even a Nia could come down and grab the title eventually. But I would like for them to start building up new stars like how they did with Kalani Jordan in NXT. They let her build her name off being the first, women's North American champion. But Shay, what do you think about this whole announcement of the mid card title?
Finally, because we was just talking about that the other day in the group chat. Like, when is it going to announce it? And like, it's been so long for women to have anything. Like, the Divas Championship was in the 2000s. Like, that was so long ago. Like, they need something else for the women that don't get opportunities, like Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, those type of things. But I think this is what they're going to do. So they're going to make sure they come back at Royal Rumble or whatever she comes back. They're going to give the title to Charlotte just to put infamous on it, because technically she has every title, for her to be, prestige. Then they're
Oh
going to let
God.
Tiffy fight her at WrestleMania for the title. That's why I think that might happen like that. That's how Tiffy's going to, because she should get the United States first. That's what I feel. And I really think that her cash in might be failed now, since they're so-called getting this championship. And then by, January, February, they will get the other IC. And then, Natalia or one of them will get that. And then they're just going to keep it moving like that. That's how I feel, because, I mean, it makes sense for somebody that, or just have Natalia get it, or just have Tiffy to get it. I mean, she's a good wrestler, so just go ahead and let her have it. And then she fight Naomi or somebody else for it, and then it goes,
I really,
in
I
order.
really feel, I really feel like with that, I feel like that's gonna start up like a whole lot of stir up, and that's when people are gonna blow off at Triple H. It's like, why'd you
Oh
have
yeah.
Tiffany to hold this, this briefcase for this X amount of time, just for her to get calls or whatever? Maybe by what's her face?
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Candice LeRae. Yep.
yeah,
No, yeah, that's
and then
definitely going to stir up some trouble because they already got backlash for what they did with the men's Money in the Bank. That it's more than likely because of
don't
that.
tell me about that again, man. God dang, that just made me mad.
It's my point go with it is that because of that, I don't think we're going to get a failed Tiffany cash in because if she fails to cash it in or they try to pull another Austin Theory, that's going to get Triple H backlash. What won't get him backlash if she cash in and take the title from either Liv or Naya, which they're angling for her to take it off of Naya because as you see how the way the program's going and how they setting things up, especially with Candice LeRae, those are the little hints to tell you that she's most likely going to cash in on Naya and take the title off of Naya. She because they hinting at them two becoming rivals. And Candice LeRae is definitely going to be the especially after what happened tonight, and we about to get into that in a moment. But especially what happened with tonight's episode, that's pretty much going to be how she probably turns babyface. Yeah, I'm more than likely feel like that's how she's gonna do. That's what's gonna happen. She's gonna turn babyface for that. Well, with that being said, we're gonna transition over, as you can see from the background change, to the Friday Night Smackdown review. So, starting off the show, we got the OG Bloodline coming out, and I love the way how they did it because this was reminiscent to how they did at Crown Jewel. Roman and Jimmy come out together, no Jay. Jay comes out by himself. And if you notice, did you notice how Roman reacted when Jay came out? Roman came out and was about to cut a promo, and then when Jay's music hit, he like, what the heck? Like he got mad because he like, what's going on? I guess it's like I guess they trying to say it's not really all connected because Jay won't come out with Roman and Jimmy. He comes out to his own music, and you can see Jimmy coming out with Roman. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's kind of pertuitive to what Jay was saying. He was saying, as me, they know who I am, they know who you are, and yet you still coming out in Roman's shadow. You don't come out to your music like how Jay come out to his music. You just come out with Roman like you still like his kind of you still act like his lackey. So I don't know what they doing with Jay, but Jimmy, but I did notice that they little dissension. He was looking all upset, and how again Jay was getting a almost a bigger pop than Roman, but then Jay would ask Roman to hear Sammy out, or to hear him out. He didn't really say Sammy's name, but he was like to hear him out because we need him, blah blah blah. And then Sami Zayn music hit, which you can see Roman get angry. So Jimmy was telling the truth that Roman really was angry with Sammy. And Sammy will come out and basically plead that what happened at Crown Jewel was a legit accident, and that he enjoyed that little moment they all had together. It gave him, reminding him of the time where they was all together riding high. Everything was cool. They was in the truck just dapping each other up. Jay being a hater, uh, but no, he was saying that they all that for that moment it felt good, and then he knows that even Roman started smiling and thinking about it. He was like, "See, look, you're smiling. I know you enjoy it." He said, and then he basically said that I'm with you guys. I'm with you. I love your family. I'm with you. I'm family. All you gotta do for me is one thing, and that's apologize. And Roman was like, "You want me to apologize to you?" He was like, "Not to me, to Jay." And he would go up to Jay and say he's sorry,
Mm-mm-mm.
and then he said, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I let you waste my time with this. He's not family. He's not blood. It's not even about him. It's about Solo." And he yelled for Solo to get out there. And that's when we got my boy,
Oh man.
who? Jacob Fatu. He said, "Let me wise you up, stupid." He said, "Solo is either the tribal chief or you everybody else. And you haven't been tribal chief for so long, Roman. Solo is the tribal chief, which makes you like everybody else, back of the line." He said he don't jump when you say jump. He don't move when you say move. He move on his own time, which means at the end of the day, you're gonna have to acknowledge that.
And that part there, it was it was pretty entertaining. But when he said stupid, you know what the other word he wanted to say, but he
Yeah,
realized it. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Then again, Randy went and broke the barrier, so I don't know. He probably could have said it because when we get to it, oh boy, Randy let off a word that had to be censored. But yeah. So that was it for that segment. You saw Sammy. I think what Sammy walked up the ramp. Yeah,
right.
Sammy was just still walking up the ramp because he had after Roman refused to apologize. Sammy, I forgot to say that because I got so excited about Jacob's part. I forgot that Sammy got out the ring and basically told Jay that he was gone, he was done because he can't even apologize to him. And then they just basically Jimmy and for the first time, Jimmy and Jay was both upset with Roman. Like, dude, what are you doing? We need Sammy. Jimmy seemed like he finally came over, even though it was like he spent all this time being mad at him so quickly. Now all he needed was like one little pep talk, and he was all of a sudden now he was cool with Sammy. But everything that's been my whole problem with all this. They moving so fast. We're getting all this together that we don't really get the story to build it up. But that's just me. So, Chris, tell me what you thought about that segment.
I thought the segment was actually pretty cool. Um, I thought it was gonna get a little bit more intense, but it wasn't that intense as I was thinking about. But still with Jimmy still coming out with Roman, it was like it just felt different. I'm so used to Jimmy coming out with his own, coming out to his own theme song. But and
Right.
then Jay coming out, by himself, it's like Jay. I mean, it's like Jay, he was the number one merchandise seller, out of Roman, Cody. Well, no, it was
I think
Cody
he
and
still
CM
is.
Punk. Yeah, and all those Yeet shirt, Yeet glasses, Yeet this, Yeet that, and the kid. I mean, he's a fan favorite, and you can't just have, you pretty much can't have Jimmy, I mean not Jimmy, but Jay to come out there to Roman's theme song, and people are so used to the yeeting thing or whatever. Then I feel like he kind of want to stick to his own thing versus coming out to Roman's theme song. So because I mean Jimmy already knows that that Roman gets a big pop, but Jay gets a bigger pop. So I think it's gonna be pretty. I think it's gonna be pretty cool, and um they'll soon be yeeting again or whatever. Probably together. Whenever this Survivor Series War Games thing go over, but I wonder if it's gonna be War Games or if it's gonna be like Bloodline Rules. You think? Oh shoot, hold on. That's for later in the show.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
depends.
God dang
Yeah.
it.
A little bit of a spoiler for what's happened later on in the show, but
Yeah.
it's still. I'm gonna tell you how when we get there. But Shay, what did you think about it?
It was pretty cool at first. I really thought that Solo was gonna come out first because about the ceremony they was talking. They showed it, but I'm surprised Roman came out first or whatever. I kind of did like how everybody else was doing their separate things. Like, of course, Jimmy gonna come out with Roman. He did it for Crown Jewel, and I think he did it the time before that. That Friday night, the week before Crown Jewel or something like that. So I kind of figured it was gonna come out separate. I'm kind of liking how everybody has their different shirts, like Yeet OTC, Yeet red shirt. I like that. Jay, nice. Jimmy got his shirt, his second shirt that he got. I like that shirt too. Sammy gonna have a shirt now too. So yeah, I like it. I like everybody's their single compared competitors. So they have each and every shirt is different. I kind of like that. Or they might have a whole shirt together. You never know. We will guess. I guess we find out later on. Before November, whatever date is Survivor Series. So it was pretty good. I like how Sammy was saying like you're smiling, not smiling, all type of stuff like that. And Jimmy and him did the handshake, things of that nature. It was cool or whatever.
All right, all right. I think we did. I'm not sure, but I think I seen like they got an OG Bloodline T-shirt now, right? I think
Yeah,
they
I
got.
seen that
I
too.
think they got a new. They already got the OG Bloodline T-shirts now. A hoodie. I think. Yeah, I seen like a hoodie and a T-shirt for them. So I do know that we will be getting OG Bloodline shirts. Um, then we get a Jay promo backstage where Roman is walking backstage and basically Jimmy walks up to Roman and be like, "Oh yeah, what was you doing?" It was like, "Why did you do all that?" And so it was Jay. And Jay like, he was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "He like what? That's your boy and stuff. That's how you talking about that's your boy. You want to bring him into the family. You want to stick up for him, blah blah blah." He said. He said, "You need what you looking at me for? Go back and find them then." And he was like, "You know what? That he said that's I told you talk to me like that. I'm out. Consider this a free pass." And he'll just Jay will walk away, and Jimmy like, "Bro, like, what are you doing?" Like he was like, "What? You questioning me too now? Huh? Well, you not you questioning me too? Why don't you go find your brother?" And he just looked at Roman like, "Really? All right, all right." So then we got the shot of Roman all alone. He ain't ran
Yeah.
everybody off. And I'm just like, Roman can't get out of his own way. But
Yeah.
the thing about this, I like it. This is what we should be getting. What we got at the end of this show should be either the week before or the go home show for Survivor Series. We getting everything just too soon. Because this don't mean nothing when you know they about to when they rushing everybody to get together. But this was a good promo that should have been like a story stretched out over weeks. But again, I don't think they just did that because they didn't want to make Roman look weak. But we will get to the first match of the night, which was Bayley versus Candice LeRae, and what it could be considered a showcase match. Now, granted, what I would say, I would say, look in hindsight, looking back, when I first saw this match, I'm like, okay, this was a so match, and I just not realizing that Khris has an OTC shirt on. Like when you did it, I'm like, oh, okay. He over there saying OTC, the original tribal chief. He is, well, he kind of is. Khris is kind of the original tribal chief of the group. He's the one who brought everybody together and made this, as you would say, bloodline. But
Should have got a Karrion Cross shirt.
yeah. If you would have done that, he coming to portray us. He going, but no. So this match in particular, I didn't think none of it until we got the announcement for the women's, United States Championship, and now this match went from just being an okay match to a good match because this match was, I can see now, this match was mostly about Bayley putting over Candice LeRae and giving, and so they starting to kind of build the stars for this mid-card title. So this match was good in the sense that it was a good matchup between the two, very good wrestling and stuff. But now knowing that we go to get this mid-card title, it was like, okay, now I really understand why they did this match. This was more so for Candice LeRae than anything. And otherwise, it was a pretty good, decent match with Bayley getting the roll-up finish victory over Candice LeRae after Candice LeRae tried to feign an injury and get like to get her and try to get like a little sneaky win. But Bayley was waiting for it, and she would get the 1, 2, 3 roll-up over Candice LeRae. But Candice LeRae still did look good in this matchup with Bayley. Shay, what did you think about this matchup with Bayley versus Candice LeRae?
It was okay. Like same old, same old. All of them fighting each other. Candice LeRae, Bianca, Bailey, all of them, Naomi fighting each other every week, or somebody coming out to distract this person, that person. Same old. It's all right. I thought Candice LeRae was going to win, but I keep forgetting that her partner's not there no more. I thought both of them left, but it was just her partner. So I was like, that's probably
No,
why she
no,
didn't win.
no. It
Maybe,
was just Indy Hartwell, not Candice LeRae.
maybe if she was there, she would have cheated for her to win. But man, they've been cheating since it was on Raw. So I mean, it was nothing, too biggie her not cheating for her. But it was okay.
All right, all right. Khris.
It felt so different for Candice LeRae to actually come out with her, for her to come out by herself. And I was like, dang, I was like, I wonder if she gonna have any help. Will she have somebody new
Hey,
that's gonna run out there or something?
hello, Khris. Before I forgot to mention, did y'all see how she still was? She still did like her little tag thing with Indy Hartwell, even though Indy wasn't there. So that she was
Yeah,
paying attention to Indy Hartwell, she still was acting like Indy was there with her.
yeah, it's rough. I just hope they don't. I don't. It doesn't seem like that WWE is like gonna loot, like have her lost in the shuffle or anything like that, simply because the stuff that is happening now, where she's getting involved, like with Nia Jax and Tiffany and stuff like that, which it seemed it kind of weird of what how it was happening. Um, I'm trying to remember that spot. I'm trying to remember that spot because I think Tiffany had an opening, but she didn't capitalize on it, which she should have like pushed Bianca, I believe it was, off the rope. I can't remember. I gotta go back and look at it again. But
You talking
she
about
had a.
when are you talking about?
I'm talking about when Candice LeRae came out there, and then Tiffany was up on the top rope, and
Oh,
Tiffany didn't want like any help.
You talking about later on in the night?
No, it wasn't. I think it was in a. Yeah,
No,
shoot.
that was at the Bianca and Jade versus Nia and Tiffy match.
Oh shoot, dang. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Dang, I'm slipping.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but yeah, that right there. I definitely feel like they're gonna uh do something with Candice LeRae though on SmackDown. So we'll see.
Yeah. That's why I said, given the fact that we got the announcement of the mid card, the women's United States mid card later that happened later on in the night, but since we already talked about it at the beginning of the video, that's why I felt like this match with Bailey and Candice was a showcase match for Candice because they're building her up for this mid card title. That's why I was at first I was like how Shay was like it was just an okay match, but now that I know what they are doing and why they actually really did have this match, this was actually this match got elevated because I'm like okay, they elevating Candice LeRae, so I'm like okay, this went from an okay match to a good match because this was something for her. Because I couldn't understand why they did it, but then I'm like, nah, dude. Okay, now I get why they put this match on. But then we would get a backstage promo with Motor City Machine Guns talking to DIY. To Johnny Gargano at first, catching up on time. They said they was looking forward to facing them for the title. But then once they left, Tommaso Ciampa came out. Was like, "What are you doing?" Like, what you? He said, "No, I was just catching up with it. Me and I looked up to him. We go back, man. Like, there's not that." He was like, "Look, you out here, buddy. We need to be focused. We need to lock in because they came in and took our spot. They took our titles, and we need to take those titles back. We shouldn't be being chummy buddy with them. It's about getting back on top and taking back what's is ours." Soaring Tommaso Ciampa's frustration. Then once Tommaso Ciampa walked off, guess who walked into the picture? Because we're not done yet. Randy Orton. And he's walking with a purpose. And this will be the first of two times we would get the shot where the camera follows somebody from the back to the entrance of them doing the entrance and stuff. Randy Orton would be the first. And then thus we would get the Randy Orton promo where he basically would come out and he was steaming. I mean, he was peed off. And this is where I was talking about where Randy Orton, it looked like he's a little hoarse. So I don't know, he is he a little sick. It looked like he barely could talk and speak. So, but he basically got it out. Said he wanted to beat Kevin Owens up. He was waiting for this fight, and he dropped the S word. I was just like, oh God, okay, all right, we getting there. And apparently, I didn't know this, but I guess the power driver really was like I guess banned. I didn't know it was banned. And then now because all the outlets and reporters said they unbanned the power driver. But I'm like, I thought it was never unbanned because Undertaker could use it anytime he wanted to. So when was the power driver banned? But I guess apparently it got banned and now they unbanned it. But they played it. I like what they did with it here, but I'm gonna get to it in a moment. So Randy Orton, like I said, was calling out Kevin Owens. He said the S word, and that got the crowd going. And we got a comment here. So Keon, yeah, Randy Orton was going off. Yeah, Randy Orton was definitely going off. And he basically called Kevin Owens, and then it was weird because like in the middle of him going off, Kevin Owens appeared on the ramp, right? So yeah, he was like, "Yeah, get your butt down here," or and then he ripped his shirt up. He was ready. At first, it looked like Kevin Owens was going to listen to the backstage, security and producers, and not go out there. But then he would push one of the producers in the face, and he would run out to the ramp, and we got the brawl. So there was brawling, there was fighting. They ended up getting separated, and then this is the part where I was talking about, where Kevin Owens would kick Randy Orton. He would basically hit him with a power driver, and this was like stop everything. And they sold. I remember, Khris, you said on the app you thought this might have been real, because of the way how Randy Orton was like basically grunting and moaning. I'm like, he did his job. Then they basically because they know fans know that this move was banned. They even talk, and you could tell they trying to sell it as the reason why it was banned, because this was such an unsafe move. As I use that as a quote because that's exactly what Corey Graves said, that the reason why the move was banned because this is an unsafe move. But Yeah, they even talked about it on commentary as after it happened that this move was banned for a reason, and they were just like, "Oh my god, you're the power driver," and Randy Orton sold it so well that he hurt himself, even though you could clearly see nothing never really happened to Randy Orton because he was so high up on Kevin Owens' knees and legs that when Kevin Owens dropped, all you could tell that hit the mat was Kevin Owens' backside. So it like he sold it perfectly though. And I like that. But for the rest of the point, that's when Kevin Owens would just look like he would kind of look in shock at what he had done, and then he would just lead through the crowd, and then Cody would appear, and they would get Randy Orton on a stretcher and put him into the ambulance, and that would be the only time you see Cody on tonight. So Cody never actually had an actual segment or anything in tonight's show.
I think,
He was just
yeah,
in one little
I think,
piece. But
yeah, they say he
Corey
was scared.
Graves and Michael Coles did sell it that this move was a banned move for a reason and stuff like that. And Randy Orton sold it perfectly. And then it wouldn't be to after the show where I found out that the move was banned and they just unbanned it. So, but go ahead, Chris.
So I just thought it was real because like he did it so fast. Because I was looking down and then I looked back up and I was like, dang. Then they stayed onto it, kind of like how they did the AJ Styles injury like thing. And I was like, I wonder if that was real. And then Orton was like, hollering and stuff. So I was like, huh. I was like, okay, maybe. I was like, maybe, after talking with you guys, I was like, yeah, it's kind of for a storyline because they got to prolong the thing. With
especially if Cody is not wrestling at Survivor Series.
Yeah, so they got to prolong it. So they did have something on Bleacher Report that I was reading, and they said they put a little story out there and said that Randy suffered some kind of injury that they said on here. I gotta find it again because it sent directly to the phone, and I was like, oh shoot. Let me see here. Hold on a second. There it is. Hold on. It says breaking after last night's brutal attack by at Owens fight on SmackDown. Randy Orton has been diagnosed with a cervical cord. What? Let's see. Here it is. I'm gonna let you guys see it real quick. It's on X.
Yeah, I heard something about it. It was a cervical cord type injury. I forgot the full thing of it. Hold on. Yeah, cervical neuroplex, plexa, something like that. Okay, is a medical term, but it's basically like I think it's like in his neck area or something like that. It's basically what there is the injury. In layman's terms, like I think it's like a neck injury.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it can be either way. I mean, it can be like storyline related, or it can be like sometimes they're not like in the right position for the move that causes injury too as well. So it just depends if he was like prepared for it or he fell the wrong way. But yeah. But overall, I'll go ahead and go first with that segment there. I was pretty much surprised that they were gonna go at it and everything. But I thought Randy Orton was gonna get out the ring and then he was gonna get that vicious power bomb that he does on the side apron. I thought that what Kevin Owens was gonna do, but that wasn't the case actually. But when Randy Orton does return, I mean, I'm not sure if he's gonna bring back his. I don't think he's gonna bring back the punt kick. He's probably just gonna do the regular RKO, which I think I wish. I hope he does because that's a lot of RKO, and he's been doing within the past 20 plus years. We got two other rules.
Yeah, I want to say, how do we get two other rules?
I guess it's probably coming up on her computer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, that that segment they need to bring back the punt kick. They need to bring back the punt kick because the it'll bring more into this story if they bring back the punt kick so that whatchamacallit Randy can have like this devastating move that put people out like how Kevin Owens do the apron power bomb. They need to bring back the punt kick because it'll make sense. It'll make sense for this story. That if Kevin
It
Owens
definitely will.
is Kevin Owens going to be that vicious, we know Randy Orton could go there because Randy Orton has put people out in story mode. I mean, in stories online, um, with the punt kick, so it makes sense for this. But I think we Shay is having some difficulties there. Uh, I don't know if she's ready or not. Let me see. You with us, Shay?
My bad. My phone. I don't know what it did.
Now, I
Uh,
thought you were getting on a computer. I seen it. Another rules came up.
Oh dang.
Let me see. We got a comment. There's a safe way of doing the power drive, and that's Kevin Owens. Undertaker did when Bret Hart did it to Stone Cold and injure his neck because he did it the wrong way. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's why Stone Cold need. That's why Stone Cold. I think what. So tell me this: did that have something to do with Stone Cold's knees too?
No, 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 no. The knee injury
Okay.
was something different. The knee
Okay.
injury was something different, but that's it did almost take Stone Cold out though. Like it almost ended his career because it was done wrong.
Right.
Um, honestly, I think the power driver should only be done by big men, because like especially when you got somebody smaller. I don't think nobody like Bret Hart or LA Knight should be doing the power driver because they're not tall enough to do it. That way, you could just that instead of them hitting their head, they could just land on their knees and you could sell it like they landed on their head. Um, but yeah, Shay, what did you think about that Randy Orton promo?
Um, I it was so funny because he started coming fast around that corner. I was like, oh, baby boy got something to say. I mean, I don't blame him because, like, I mean, the match was like Conjure. That was like a waste of time. I understand what happened, but Randy had went in on KO. But KO wrong for trying to even like make it seem like he tried to injure him because people really thinking that it's just a storyline. I feel like it's just for the storyline for him for Randy to come back stronger. And you know, like how John Cena came back at the Royal Rumble. Remember that in 2009? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's what it's giving. Like they're trying to make it like, oh shit, like Triple H was like look like real frazzled when he saw um John Cena. So I think that's what they're trying to do. Let John Cena come back at not John Cena, sorry. Let Randy come back at Royal Rumble and have KO started, in the Royal Rumble. I think that's what they're gonna try to do. But my baby boy fine, I talked to him today and he's fine. So
Hey, yeah, that just remind me. Remember that one time when Triple H was injured back in 2003, little big man, and then he came back all freaking like that. Remember that video? Oh,
You talking about when he blew out his knee?
yeah, and then he came back on Monday Night Raw, and he had like the jean like vest on,
No,
and
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and then he came back. I was like, what the world? I was but yeah, when he came back, that was definitely like one one big return there too.
Mm-hmm. He said Undertaker a big dude along with Big Show. Yeah, yeah. That's
right.
why I think people like Undertaker and Kane to be the only ones doing those moves because it
Yeah,
goes
I
well
don't
with
know.
the competitor.
Yeah, I don't know about Big Show doing no power driver. His knee
Yeah, I
might
don't know
give out.
about Big Show because it's not really Big Show's repertoire, but somebody like Big Show and that their height should be the only ones doing the Tombstone
And
power drive.
when they do start bringing this stuff back, please don't let Damian Priest do it. Please don't.
No, he think
Seth.
he an
Yeah,
Undertaker
no,
2.0 right there. He think he Undertaker.
no,
Yeah,
no,
they
no.
so Rhea Ripley did give him a name, but I can't say it here. He called him the the by Undertaker, the by,
Oh yeah, yeah,
whatever word,
yeah, yeah.
Undertaker.
Yeah, because that's what everybody was. That's what everybody was telling, calling them
Oh
on the like Instagram and Twitter and stuff. They was calling him the By Undertaker. You know. But yeah. So afterwards, we get the second match of the night, which is actually the DIY versus Pretty Deadly match, and this was pretty cool for the fact that this was an interesting development for DIY. Basically, Tommaso Ciampa started off the match, and I can't remember which one of the Pretty Deadlies. I think it was only one. I think the dude, the one with the brown hair, he was starting out the match too, and Tommaso just went ape. I mean, he went rageful, frustration. He took out both members. Like he just took
I'm
out. I think Kent Williams is the one with the blonde hair. Yeah, Kent
uh
Williams.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Let me
think that's
see. Let me see which one is which. Hold on just a second.
yeah, but I can't
So
remember.
so the, so the one with, let me see.
Hold
All
on.
right. So Kit Wilson, I mean
Wilson,
Elton, yeah, Kent Wilson, that's the one with the brown hair with the dark color hair, and then Elton Prince is the one with the blondish hair.
Elton Prince. Okay.
Yeah, Elton Prince.
Yeah, he took out Elton Prince,
Yes,
and
boys.
yes boy. He took out Elton
They
Prince,
kill me with that.
and then Kit Williams, who was the legal man. By the way, congratulations, who just got married. Um, he uh he got taken out by Tommaso Ciampa as well.
Wait, who?
Kent Williams, the one with the brown hair, he just got married. Uh, that's why I was saying congratulations. He just had got married. That's probably why they kind of did like this, so you could kind of be off on his honeymoon. Unless he was already on his honeymoon, because he wasn't on. He hasn't been recently featured on the shows. But yeah. So Tommaso Ciampa, after beating the holy heck out of both of them, will throw Kit Williams back into the ring. Where Johnny Gargano would ask for a tag, but then he would just look at Johnny Gargano like, heck no. Nah. He just hit his finisher on Kit Williams, 1, 2, 3. DIY is your winner. And this happened all within the span of, I want to say, 5 to 8 minutes. This was a 5 to 8 minute match
Yeah,
because it,
somewhere in between there.
yeah, because that's pretty much was it. He pretty much it came out to Monster Town, just dominated both of them, got the pinfall, and that was it. But that won't be the it of them, because we will see them later on tonight. But that would be that. That'll be it for that match. Um, Chris, what did you think about it?
So I didn't watch like the full match of it, but I figured that that DIY was gonna win that match.
Mhm.
And you can tell like the mean streak, like with Tommaso Ciampa, like it's like all tag teams are disintegrating. Like you got on Raw where it's like the New Day thing, and then you got on SmackDown where it's like DIY, and then it's kind of very similar. But you seen Tommaso Ciampa go in there and then pretty much didn't even want to tag in Johnny Gargano and just went to work by himself. And I was like,
Right.
well, dang, okay. Uh, and so it was just wild. But I'm not sure, but I've heard like people talk about it on TikTok and of course here on YouTube, where they're seeing that Johnny Gargano will remain babyface, while Tommaso Ciampa, goes heel. But I'm not sure how they're gonna do this. Same thing, kind of like with Xavier Woods and Kofi. How they're gonna do that either? But it was definitely interesting to see what Tommaso Ciampa can do with two people at one time.
Yeah, I'm pretty much heard that too. That he's going to be like what you call it. They trying to return Tommaso to his mean streak, which could possibly be the end of DIY and like the main roster version of what happened on NXT between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, and it looked like they is going in that direction. Shay, what did you think about it?
That match was so strange. It wasn't bad, but it was just like, here we go. Like, it was not even that long. We all know that DIY was going to win because Trump, he's mad. You can tell he's mad. And it's crazy because he got mad and he was talking to the boy from, the other team. And I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, now you starting to do what Zippy wasn't them doing. I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of happy that I know we're going to get the Zippy win in them turn, but I'm kind of happy they're doing it with DIY because you could tell they wanted to do it with them from the beginning. Take them as the turn, breakup type of thing. But yeah, I think them thinking them was going to win to get a champion shot. We all know what happened, but we all know they might put them in there anyways and make them break up anyways. So I think it's still like a double thing with that. Like they're still not gonna win the titles, and they're gonna break up. You know what I'm saying? So you already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah, possibly. We'll see. But yeah, she did. Shay, you did allude to something that's going to happen. That's going to come up in a few. Um, we did get a backstage promo with Tiffany. Um, I think this is where she was being confronted. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. It leads into this match. So yeah, this is where she was being confronted by Candice LeRae. She was jaw jacking with her about what they how Crown Jewel with and whatnot. And Nia Jax would come and confront Tiffany about this match that she had, the match that they got with Bianca and Jade. And she asked Tiffany, "Did you put this match together with Bianca and Jade?" And she said, "Yeah, cause I think if we beat Bianca and Jade, and we could get a championship opportunity out of it, we could take the titles from her before." I think she said what Liv and Raquel. Cause then it would be revealed in a few minutes that once we get to the match, it was revealed that Liv and Raquel will be getting a title opportunity Monday. Um, but yeah, so Tiffany, I think she would get. I forgot. I can't remember everything that happened. I think she got jaw jacked with uh uh Candice a little bit more, with Candice saying that if she was there, she would have won and all that type of stuff. And Nia was just like, "All right, okay, you better be right about this, Tiffany." And they just left Candice LeRae backstage with a pondering, scheming Candice LeRae, and then you got Michael Cole out of nowhere, Snake. I'm like, okay, Michael, I'm biased. Biased, are you? But then that'll lead into the third match of the night, which is Bianca and Jade versus Nia Jax and Tiffany. The non-title match, of course, but this was a pretty good match. This was pretty good. I like the spots they try to do. Of course, where everybody they always do the spots where everybody, or at least Bianca and Jay, is trying to lift Nia. Uh, Candice LeRae would make an appearance along with Naomi. She was distracted. She really is. This is why I say they really are showcasing Candice LeRae and getting her ready for this mid card women's title that's coming up. And the way is look like it. They shaping her up to be one of the front runners since she did win the what's that, the women's speed championship. She already kind of did win a women's mid card title, though we don't count it because it's only on speed. But still, it still counts as a women's mid card title. Um, But for the main roster, it is. I think they put in like Chelsea Green, Meechan, and Candice LeRae as the front runners to be the winners of this. Because what happened earlier, and now with this match, as I was saying, she came out to interfere, which caused a rift because her interference came when Tiffany had the upper hand, and this would distract Tiffany, telling her to get out of here. I don't need your help to win. This would give Bianca and Jay and them the upper hand to take the victory from them. And I'm like, okay, she really will be like the reason why Tiffany goes babyface and actually cash in on Nia Jax, because they really are playing up this whole Tiffany might get replaced by Candice LeRae deal. But a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. Nothing bad to say about it. I love the story they was telling with it. Jade and Bianca was more of a plot device. Naomi came in. I forgot to mention that part. Or I did say she was there, but I didn't talk about the fact that she was the reason why Candice LeRae got like chased off, because she went and just chased off Candice LeRae. Or was that at the Bailey match? Was that the Bailey match? No, that was this match. Yeah, she would chase off Candice LeRae, and that's when Bailey and them would Bianca and Jay would get the victory. It was weird because I get confused because I forgot that Candice had a match earlier in the day, so I'm trying to keep my mind remembering where she got chased off by Naomi. But yeah, she would get chased off by Naomi in this match, and then that's when Bianca and Jay won it. But overall, good match. Nothing wrong with this match at all. Pretty good match. And like I said, Bianca and Jay was more of a plot device to further cement the story of Nia and Tiffany becoming rivals and enemies. But Shay, what did you think about it since you got to meet Bianca and Jade?
I'm not gonna lie though. That match was so good. Nia was dominant in majority of the match because Tiffany, I mean, that's probably just how she's playing her role. Like, she can't fight. Like, it was no reason for Tiffany to go ask for this opportunity when it was no reason. Like, it was, I don't know. But yeah, Nia was doing really good in the match, and then obviously you got Candice LeRae coming out. Like, girl, like, why did you come out for? And then Tiffany, instead of Tiffany, she did the same thing that Xavier Woods did. Instead of Tiffany, just go ahead and flip thing and get back Bianca, because Jade was on the floor. They could have won the match, and because Nia was on the outside too, they could have won the match. But no, I don't want you to help me, girl. Just go ahead. You got to win the match. So she did the same thing Xavier Woods did with the not doing the thing or whatever, and get distracted.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was cool, whatever. And then Naomi butting in people business. Stay out, baby girl. You're not even in a group no more. They kick you out the group. So yeah, but it was cool or whatever. But hopefully Tiffy just stay quiet, because Candice LeRae gonna cost her. I'm telling y'all, she gonna cost her that cash in. I have a feeling she gonna save Nia Jax from that cash in, because we all know what Tiffy want to do. Candice LeRae see that. She see that she want to cash under her, so she gonna help Nia. I have a feeling she is.
No, I definitely think she's gonna. I don't think she's gonna cause her to cash in. I think she will cause her in a way of she's gonna stop her from cashing in before it becomes official. But that official cash in will happen on Nia. It will happen because Triple H is not about to have the fans angry at him twice for basically making, because if that just say she do like mess up the cash in and Candice Ray don't become, Tiffany don't become champion, Triple H will see so much backlash for basically making this year's men's and women Money in the Bank briefcases pointless. So and most of the time they don't allow two failed cash in. That either the women's fail and the men succeed, or the men's fail and the women succeed. And then
Well, Damian Cash is successful, so Tiffy can fail. I
no,
want Nia Jax to keep the title though.
Drew was unsuccessful.
Hold on. Oh, I forget. I'm thinking that's
Yeah,
Damian
Priest
Priest.
was the year before.
Oh,
Chris
my
was the year
bad.
before.
I forgot about that.
Drew was unsuccessful, what means Tiffany is going to be successful because Drew was unsuccessful. And the backlash Triple H
Yeah,
got
yeah, give me a
from
minute. Hold on now.
the backlash that Triple H got from Drew being unsuccessful is the reason why Tiffany won't be unsuccessful
I
because he's
really
not
want
gonna.
Nia Jack to keep the title though. She hasn't had it for that long. What, 5 months maybe? She need to keep it a little bit longer.
Well, I don't think she's gonna lose it now, but I definitely think it's either gonna be like a setup for Mania or something like that. It's definitely gonna be a reason why Tiffany gonna have a WrestleMania match.
Okay, that's different then, yeah. So that's a long time from now. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen yet. The earliest I would say it would be the Royal Rumble if they do anything, but it's most likely gonna be the setup for WrestleMania.
Yeah, because the person that won the Royal Rumble can cash in too. I mean, or the person that's on the Royal Rumble could get cost too, you know? Whoever wins the Royal
Yeah,
Rumble.
yeah. Either that or they just gonna have Tiffany be the Seth Rollins and Damian Priest and cash in right at WrestleMania and take the title. Then they could have Tiffany do that as well. But Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, it was just like I was talking about earlier. Um, yeah, Tiffany should have just went for her moonsault maneuver, well, finisher, and could have just pinned the women's tag team champions, but that didn't happen. So like I said, I'm ready to see what direction they're taking Candice LeRae into. Within this Nia Tiffy thing right now. So even though she, of course, lost Indy Hartwell, I do see they got something big in store for her, though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. They pretty much they're gonna replace Indy with Nia, and like I said, Tiffany is gonna become a baby face, which is gonna build up to probably WrestleMania where she take the title off of Nia.
right.
Um, because it's pretty much they trying to say it's gonna be Rhea and Liv at WrestleMania some way somehow. Which I'm like, God, why don't you just let somebody else have the spotlight? But of course, they're gonna try to force Rhea, and like Rhea is getting injured. Leave that woman alone. Let her be. That's why she's getting injured so much. But then we get to the fourth match of the night, uh, which is Austin Theory and Grayson Waller or A-Town Down Under versus Motor City Machine Guns. And this was a pretty good tag team match. Now, granted, I didn't know this. I don't know when this was announced a change. I had forgot, but I would until they said something. I'm like, oh yeah, this was supposed to be a Grayson Waller effect.
Yeah,
It wasn't supposed to be a match. It was supposed to be a Grayson Waller effect segment. But somehow in between last Friday and this Friday, that guy changed it to a match. And what Corey Graves and him said in story was that Nick Aldis basically just figured it always leads to a brawl and stuff anyway. So they just cut the middleman out and just made it to a match instead of a segment. Um, I think this was the right call because I don't really think Motor City Machine Guns needed to be in a segment with the Austin the Grayson Waller effect. I don't think it was needed. I actually think that was a good call to put this as a match instead of just a talk show segment because it really wasn't. It didn't make sense when they were trying to do it last week. But I'm glad that we get these type of bookings where you know what? No, instead of a segment, let's just make it a match. But for that, it was a good one. It was a good match. You know what? For the most part, I was okay with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. They're not my favorites to see in the ring at the moment. Um, especially that we just abandoned out of nowhere this whole um them splitting apart thing. But like I said, for the most part, this was a good match, another good showcase, and it also proves my theory that when you become a champion, they doing the whole UFC thing where the champions where they gear has like gold like stitchings or like color in it now to show that you're the champion. Just like how they do in UFC when you win the championship in UFC, you have to wear gold like gear to show that not only did you got the belt, but you're also the champion. So they doing that. I noticed it with LA Knight, and now I noticed it here with Motor City Machine Guns, where they new gear now got gold in it because they became champions. And they side plays look awesome too. If you guys caught that, they had some good. They side plays look good. But like I said, pretty good match. It was 30 entertaining, and Motor City Machine Guns would get the victory here over a game 8 time down under. Uber athletic. I did like that spot. I will give Grayson Waller that. I do like that spot where everybody do like the little arm thing with him, and he just do that multiple kick up stuff. I'm like that is cool and athletic. But I like how this time when he did it and tried to laugh in the face of I forgot which one of the City Machine Gun do it was. He just slammed him back down.
Which one was it?
I think
the dark hair, or the dark hair one. Well, the dark long hair one or the short brown hair one.
I think it was the long hair one.
Alex Shelley.
Yeah, Alex Shelley. I think it was Alex Shelley.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, that was a good match with Motor City Machine Guns getting the victory. But that wouldn't be the last time we see Motor City Machine Guns. Like we saw them early in the night in this match. We're gonna see them in a few moments after this match. But go ahead, Chris. What did you think about this match?
It seemed like Austin Theory and Grayson Waller was definitely taking them to their limits and everything, as you can tell. Because for a moment it seemed like they were, people were like wondering, like, oh shoot, are they about to lose? Because Alex Shelley, when he jumped off the top rope, I think either he jumped off the top rope or he was on the outside there, and something happened to his knee.
Oh yeah. He didn't jump off the top rope, but I think he tried to do like a springboard or something.
He tried to do. I can't remember. I knew it was either on top of the rope or on the side apron thing or something like that. He was trying to do something.
And he was doing a move, and they played it up like he hurt his knee, but it pretty much came in. It was like they didn't sell it for long.
Yeah, they did. And Corey Graves definitely didn't. But overall, I have to say the match was definitely good though. Like I said, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller aren't one of my favorites. I mean, still, mid Carter-ish to me. But I don't see them like a high mid card. They're kind of like in the low, low medium-ish like mid card.
Yeah, they're like the low mid card for sure.
Yeah,
like the low mid cards. They pretty much felt that way once they lost the titles. Actually, Shay, what did you think about it?
It was okay. It wasn't, it was okay. It wasn't bad. Austin Theory and them get beat up though, but that was entertaining. But yeah. But I just don't understand like how one of the machine guns just came out and just got the title so fast. Like,
is that the motor who?
Well, the motor. This is a tongue twister. You gotta say it slow. Motor. You see what I'm saying?
The motor.
If you listen to it, she was trying to say Motor City. She was gonna say City. Motor City Machine Guns.
Like, how did they get the title that fast? Like, I don't understand that. Like, they just bloop. Oh, got the
Nick, I believe it was like Nick Aldis. He was like he was definitely pulling some strings to get him there. After them being in TNA for like 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm. But to answer your question though, Shay, I think Triple H. Like, remember how we kept saying the tag team titles need to be off of people that was in factions because they wasn't focusing too much on the tag team titles when somebody in a faction had them.
Right.
aka like the bloodline. When the titles was in the bloodline, it was more about the bloodline stuff than the tag team titles. And I think Triple H wanted to get the titles off of them, but he also wanted to make a good impression with the Motor City Machine Guns because it was coming from TNA to over here because we got other TNA stars coming over that not just doing the crossover, but they're actually leaving TNA and becoming full-fledged WWE superstars, a la Jordan Grace and her husband Moose, and then you got Joe Hendry.
Wait,
So
wait, who again?
and
I know you said it's
Jordan,
10A.
Jordan Grace's husband is Moose.
I think so. Let me see who it was. Let me see who it was again. Hold on 1 second.
Because I know her husband is a wrestler, and he wrestles
Yes.
at TNA, and they said both of their
I think it's the short black kind of strong dude. I can't remember his name.
I thought it was Moose.
No, it's he's a little bit shorter than Moose. I think it's Jonathan Gresham. This guy here. Hold on. Sorry. That guy there.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's him. Okay.
Yeah, Jonathan
Yeah,
Gresham.
they both of their contracts is up, and then you got Jordan Grace. I mean, Joe Hendry, contract that's up too. So to answer your question, Shay, that's why Motor City Machine Guns got the title so quickly is because he's trying to make a good impression, and he needed to get the titles off of them anyway. He needed to get the titles off of the bloodline anyway.
But I am ready for
it off of Judgment Day too.
But I am ready for Joe Hendry to sign with WWE because he's gonna get a real big pop, man. I'm being so serious.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna have him. I wonder if they're gonna have him to start off in NXT again, or if he's just gonna like shoot to the main roster. And if he does, do you see him on Raw or SmackDown?
Well, from what the reports are saying, if they, able to work this out in time, they will be on the main roster as far as the Rumble. But I think both as an actual permanent home, they're going to go to NXT. Both Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry, because I don't know. It's only been rumored, speculated that her husband is coming with her to WWE. But we know that Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry is coming there, and I heard that they said they're both going to be on NXT. But because they is so close to the Rumble when they're going to actually be able to sign, is that they're probably going to make their full-fledged WWE appearance as a WWE superstars in the Rumble and then go over to NXT. That's how I feel. But then again, the thing is though, since they already put time in NXT, it won't be like a full-fledged debut / work their way up to like a certain point of the card. They already been putting their time in NXT, so it's just going to be like they're going to be just wherever they at before they sign their contracts. After they leave TNA, they're just going to come in and just continue from there as full-fledged, WWE superstars. But because you can't ignore the crossover, you can't just ignore it like they haven't been crossing over there. So they pretty much put in their time in already. So
and yeah, it was in that. Like I said, it was definitely a matter of time when Jordan Grace was losing that title to transition over to WWE fully.
Yeah, her tenure in TNA now is just to put over the champion because she's pretty much going out the door. She's going out the door. But like I said, we will see Motor City Machine Guns again. Because backstage after they match, they would get confronted by DIY. This time, telling them that they want a title opportunity against them, and that they was like, okay, yeah, of course, man, We don't mind getting you an opportunity because that's what we're here for. We wanted to win the title. We wanted to face the best, and we're glad to give you an opportunity. He said, "Well, good, because we want our opportunity next." And then he would get interrupted by the Street Profits. This was Tommaso Ciampa, by the way, talking, and he would get interrupted by the Street Profits, who would say who would take his next week and say, as I think it was Montez Ford, because he was because he was about to say, yeah, I want our opportunity at those titles next week, but instead the next week I took it by Montez saying that next week we're going to be getting our opportunity because we already talked to Nick Aldis and it was going to be made official. I forgot to mention too, it was announced during the Bianca and Jay versus Nia and Tiffany that Naomi will be getting her championship opportunity against Nia Jax next week as well. I forgot to mention that earlier. But yeah, Montez mentions here that they're gonna get that opportunity next week for the titles, and that's what Tommaso would just have a full blown fit telling Johnny, like, see, this is what I'm talking about. These people talking about
Slam the damn water bottle.
right, slam the water bottle like this. I'm fed up with this. And blah blah blah. You know, Tommaso they'll walk out trying to Johnny trying to calm down Tommaso, and then DIY. I'm not DIY, but the Motor Machine Guns will be confronted alone by the Street Profits and was like, yeah. So next week we're gonna get to see how y'all deal with real pressure, and you could see a little bit of a heel vibe to them. So I'm like, they
Yeah,
might
cause
be turning heel.
that's
They
what I
might
was
be
hoping
turning
for.
heel. I
Cause
think
he snatched the glasses off so quick, and then they
yeah, no, he
just
was like,
instantly,
and
and
that's
then
when they
he
were like,
instantly
yeah,
just
let's see what you can do with real pressure. And the reason why I think they might be turning heel beyond the fact that they gave a heelish vibe right there is that I think because of the fact how quickly they came in, became how in the spots that they took, I think for both DIY and the Street Profits, they telling the story of how both teams feel jaded that they just came in, took spots, and became champion. Where both teams been working hard to be trying to become champion, and they just came out of nowhere. So that's the story they telling there. And then we would get what I talked about earlier, what we talked about at the beginning of the video, which is the Nick Aldis promo announcing the Women's United States Championship. No need to go into elaborate on that as we already talked about it earlier. But this is where that actual spot happens. It happens right after the whole DIY and Street Profits and Mostly Machine Guns backstage promo. We would get that video vignette of him revealing it and talking about it. Mike, and this is where we afterwards we'll get Michael Cole and them talking about uh how they're going to be. It could be on both shows. Then we'll get my boy Jago Fatu again along with Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, and then they will part ways for Solo to come. He will give the Udo Fala to Solo, and thus this is the second time in the night you will have the camera following people from the back to the front, and thus we start off with the final segment of the night, which is the Bloodline 2.0 ceremony acknowledgement ceremony. Where Solo came out, was about to make everybody acknowledge him, but Roman Reigns would interrupt, and Solo would say, "You know what? This is good because I want you before everybody else to acknowledge your tribal chief, your undisputed tribal chief." And then Solo Roman would ask the crowd, "Well, do y'all acknowledge him?" They said no. He said, "Me either." And he would challenge Solo to a one-on-one match for to see who for the title of tribal chief. But Solo would laugh it off, saying that he don't need to have a match with him for that because he's already the undisputed tribal chief. But instead he said, I have a counter. He got a counter. He said, I challenge you to a match. Yeah. And I think Khris, you said this earlier, which so I don't have to beat around the bush. As Khris already spoiled it, he challenged Roman Reigns to a War Games match, and Roman Reigns was like, he said, "What you mean War Games?" He was like, "But it's only." He said, "It's only 4 of you." He said, "Yeah, it's me, Tonga, Jacob, and Tonga Loa, and the fifth person, my boy Sami Zayn." And Sami Zayn will walk back out and standing on the at the top of the ramp, so, and almost in belief, he had everybody believing, at least at this moment, that there will be that Sammy was joining the Bloodline 2.0, and they would jump Roman and start beating them up. This where Jay and Jimmy would run out past Sammy and they go help him out, and they kind of like took each other out and neutralized it until it was only Solo and Roman in the ring, and Solo would hold Roman, and then he was getting ready to do a Samoan Spike, but instead of doing it, he kept glancing, he double take, he was like, wait a minute, Sammy's still up there. He was like, no, you come here. He told him to come down to the ring, and which Sammy did, and he tried to egg Sammy into Haluna kicking Roman, saying, remember what he did to you, everything he's done to you, kick him right now. And Sammy went for the kick, but he didn't hit Roman. He hit Solo. And when Roman seen this, Roman finally acknowledged, and all too quickly fashion, because it's still too quick for all this to happen, but he just shook his head at Sammy, and I think he hit like the spear on Solo, and then they just stand in the ring with Jay, and then we'll get back into the ring. And I'm like for the moment, I'm like, wait a minute, what happened to Tonga Loa? And then I'm like, they just was standing there out in the ring. They didn't even try to get into the fight. It was only really like they got into it for a minute, but after they got knocked out of the ring, they never got back in the ring. They just stood there watching everything happen. And they just dragged Solo out the ring after he got speared. And then Jay will put the one up. Jimmy will put the one up. And then Sammy and Roman will have this stare down. And Sammy put the one up at staring at Roman. And he will and so did Roman. And they will walk to join. They will walk up to join Jimmy and Jay to signal that the OG bloodline is back. And they start jaw jacking with the Solo and the old 2.0 bloodline as they was leaving, talking about this is on you, this is what you wanted. So we're getting this match, but if we going by what Roman was saying, we still need one more person each for both teams. Unless
Yeah, that now
do a 4-on-4, because it is supposed to be 5-on-5. It is supposed to be 5-on-5.
That's what confused me. At first it confused me. Then I thought about it when Solo told Roman, he said, what 4 people is going to team up with you? I was like, hold on, 4. I was like, hold on, we only got Jimmy, Jay, and of course it's going to be Sammy. But who's going to be like the 5th for Roman's team?
Who's going to be the 5th for both teams?
The Rock is gonna come. We all know that. We know The Rock gonna come in and be like, "Yo, I want to fight." You know that, and that's when Cody gonna come out, and because he want to fight Cody, so it makes sense. Remember, The Rock said he want to fight Cody. He don't like Rock. He don't like Roman.
But the thing is, Shay, Cody is not scheduled to be at Survivor Series.
Oh, I forgot about that too. I just remembered.
He's not scheduled to be there, so that's what I'm saying. He's not scheduled to compete at Survivor Series. Who's going to be the 5th person? Now
I don't know.
I can't say it's Zilla, because I know.
Right.
I mean, of course they do that. You got the WID thing, whatever, but
yeah,
he's not officially a WWE superstar.
But then they signed their cousin the other day.
Yeah, to NXT, but I think that's
right.
No, it's about Lance. The one that was in WWE before that fought Shane McMahon at one point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then they got that go yo too. You got Hukuleo and Lance.
Yeah, and then they got. Well, I don't think Manu is ever gonna come back to WWE.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever gonna come back.
Yeah, but I think it was him or somebody else. I seen on TikTok in some independent circle, but no. But I don't know. Who is it gonna be?
Yeah, I don't know who we're gonna have to see. I know. Okay, we could safely assume one of us is gonna be Hukuleo. One of them is gonna be Hookah. He is under contract. They just haven't debuted him in TNA yet. But I'm guessing before he go to TNA, he's gonna team up with one of them. But it's still if that's the
NXT.
case. Yeah, he's going to NXT, but I'm guessing he's going to team up with either Roman or Solo, and then we still got to solve who's going to do what. So I'm guessing that for the rest of the build up to Survivor Series is going to be who they try to get to be the fifth members of both teams. So,
yeah, I think we'll probably get who's going to be revealed possibly the day of Survivor Series for one of the teams or something like that.
Like a mystery,
Yeah, one of those going to be a mystery.
I say Joe Hendry. Let him be. That'll be the wild card. You let him be on Roman's team.
He's gonna just smile.
But that pop would be crazy if it was Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
But that's it. That was all that happened. But Khris, what did you think about that segment?
I thought the segment was definitely pretty cool. I didn't know, as I mentioned in the app, I didn't know they were gonna pull the trigger this fast. I thought they were gonna at least wait to next week or the week after to kind of try to transition everything together. But there's still like cracks in every cracks that needs to be filled and everything. With Jimmy, Jay, Roman, and of course Sammy. So it'll probably officially be sealed up maybe the week before Survivor Series. But I did like I said, I did like this segment though. It was pretty cool, and it definitely give that that old feel to it. But I was seeing some pictures, and people had like Roman in one picture, then like Roman and Jimmy in one picture, then Roman, Jimmy, and Jay in another picture, then Sammy, and then the last picture, when you swipe through, it had Paul Heyman at the end. I was like, oh wow. But Paul Heyman's got to return at some point to get back at Solo, because they put that man through the table. I don't remember the last time Paul Heyman. When was the last time Paul Heyman got put through a table? Was it by Brock at one point when him and like Big Show feuded about like a decade plus ago? Wasn't that the last time he got put through the table?
No, when he portrayed Roman. When he portrayed Brock Lesnar for Roman, I think Brock put him through the table.
Okay.
I think that was the last. I remember he got beat up for portraying, because when Brock and Roman was beefing, and he chose to Roman Reigns to be Roman Reigns tribal chief instead of being the advocate for Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar attacked Paul Heyman.
Gotcha.
But the funny thing, every time Paul Heyman gets attacked, he cannot sell the hell out of those attacks. His events are the worst sellers ever. But
Paul
Heyman. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Paul Heyman, he's a big guy, and it's kind of hard for him to sell because he has that stomach on him, so it's difficult.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Shay. What did you think about this final segment?
It was good. Solo's been killing these last couple of days, but Solo say, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Solo, he was funny on the segment, though, I'm gonna lie. But I can't wait to see, if they're doing 5 members, I can't wait to see who the 5th member going to be. I know it's going to be a mystery because they're going to drag this out. We all know they're going to drag this out next week and the week after, because it's 3 weeks. Yeah. So they're going to drag these next 2 weeks out. But we're going to really see, we're going to see Paul. It's going to feel like a family, like how it used to feel or whatever. But I just can't wait for Survivor Series to be over with, because I want my yeet to go back to his yeeting, by himself,
And I definitely think he will.
Yes.
I definitely think he will. So, he's gonna have to go back, of course, because we don't have nobody to face Braun Breaker. And
is that right? They get
I
to talk
told you.
I
I
mean,
told. I
nobody.
told y'all. I told y'all. I was like, if Braun Breaker win this title back, I was like, well, who's he's gonna face? Because the only person I could think of, which he got injured, was Ilya Dragunov. Because there is
Yep.
no one else. Everybody else is locked into feuds, and of course,
Yep.
Bronson Reed is still he's locked in the feud, of course, with Seth.
what's up?
So yeah,
And Seth got his own things going on with the other people. So yeah.
yeah. So it's
You
nobody
gotta
really. I mean,
lose.
unless you do
You
like
gotta
Rey
lose
Mysterio or
Raven
some junk
because well, not
or
necessarily.
Sheamus. Or
Not
Sheamus, yeah.
necessarily because you were saying
That'd be
everybody was locked into a feud. Damian Priest is locked in with Gunther, which means you got people that's free to feud with Braun Breaker, like Rey Mysterio, like Sheamus, like Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough. You got people who could feud with them.
Finn Balor.
But it's
Finn
just
Balor. But
majority of them are
I
majority
don't
of
think
them are heels.
yeah, but
I think
he's
majority
a
of everybody in
face.
Raw are heel.
He's not really a heel anymore. Remember, that's why
Yeah,
it works because Braun Breaker is not really a heel. He's a tweener.
yeah. And
So
he's still. I mean,
he's more of a baby face than a heel anyway.
yeah.
So yeah, so that's it. That's all we got.
Yep.
That was yeah. Ain't nothing else happened. It was a dark match. I think Sammy, Cody, and Jay wrestle against some I forgot who that was in that video.
It's one thing I gotta say about Cody, man. How does he do it? And this man all in overseas, and then coming up next year, like in March, and yeah, I think next year starting in March, they're gonna be like all in UK like the entire month, and I'm like, God dang! And then of course
Mhm.
we got Survivor Series that's gonna be in Vancouver, Canada, and then of course we got when is Elimination Chamber? And I
Elimination
remember,
Chamber, March the
Yeah,
1st is in
that's gonna be March.
Canada.
yeah, so they're gonna be all over there, and hopefully, I mean, it's
Hopefully we
that
see Cody
that's
at one of
wild.
They
them.
said he the John Cena now. Say he the
Yeah,
John Cena, he the new John Cena. So
And Gunther don't do nothing but sit down. Cause he ain't fighting nobody since what? When was the last time he fight somebody? Oh, okay. Other than the crown jewel. Oh, okay.
yeah,
was it Randy?
yeah.
Huh?
No,
Well,
I think Randy was the last person he defended the title against, wasn't it? Yeah,
no, it
because
was
then
No.
no, it was who was it?
Dang, who was that?
Sammy.
No,
Yeah, it was.
no, it
The
wasn't.
last one.
No, what's this? No, he defended against somebody at a
Yeah, it
Well,
was.
no, yeah. No,
Yeah,
my bad. I'm thinking about the match that he just had against Cody. My bad.
yeah, because remember
But yeah,
if Sammy would have beat Gunther, it would have been Cody versus Sammy
That would have
at
been
Crown
fire
Jewel.
though, friend versus friend.
So that was the last time Gunther it was on a Monday Night Raw. He defended the title against Sami Zayn and with him beating Sammy.
oh yeah. And then eventually, I feel like we're gonna get Sammy and Kevin Owens for Sammy helping out the bloodline.
Oh yeah, that's coming. KO versus Sammy
Either
for the
At
that or we're gonna
WrestleMania.
get either that or we're gonna get a run back with Sammy and Gunther again.
Yeah,
or Gunther versus Seth. That would be good because we didn't
but
get
I'm
a rematch with that yet.
but I'm wondering with Damian Priest and Gunther, will this hold out to Survivor Series, or will we get this like next week or something on Raw? And
No, we
then,
Survivor
well,
Series.
no,
No, I think they said it was being reported that
Punk.
this might happen at whatchamacallit at Saturday Night Main Event.
Oh, that would be good.
I don't think
Hmm.
I don't think any I don't think nobody if they hold this out because it was just I can't remember I was watching so many videos but I think it was Wrestle Talk. I think they said it was going to be held out. I don't think it's going to happen at Survivor Series. I had to go back and watch the video, but somebody was saying that it was before that I think I'm pretty sure it was Wrestle Talk that said that it was going to happen that Saturday night main event and not Survivor Series.
Okay. And then Liv, they got her backup plan for with Io Sky because
Yeah,
Rhea's out indefinitely. So I don't
I think
know. When should
I
you have?
no,
When should Rhea
I think
return?
Rhea.
Royal
Because she
I
don't
Rumble.
need to
think
come back.
I think
Yeah,
Liv is going to defend her title after this Monday. The next Monday after this one, because she's got a match with Bianca
and
Belair and them this Monday, and then after that, then she's gonna defend the title against Io Sky. Because
Rhea. Oh,
I think at Survivor Series they're gonna have that whole women's war game match with Rhea. Because that's what they saying. Rhea's gonna return to do the women's war games match.
Hold on. So you said okay. So you said that they're gonna fight Bianca and them. So you said they're gonna do a women's war? Oh, I don't want to see that against who? Live in. Oh,
It's basically
Liv Raquel. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, basically say the women's war games matches reported to be Team Liv, which is consists of Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, um, Roxanne Perez, and Cora Jade. I think is that hold on. Yeah, that's five, right? That was all
yeah.
five. That was five women. Okay. Yeah, versus basically who we got in that one segment where we got where they jumped her. They basically sold you the women the Rhea's team, which it was gonna be Rhea
Kalani
Ripley,
Jordan.
uh uh it was gonna be Rhea Ripley, Zara, Julia, Stephanie. Yeah, then yeah, Kalani.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I mean, that's all right, but
It,
uh, uh,
yeah, this they were saying this year's women's war games was going to consist of both NXT and main roster superstars. That was
But you
like
know what?
the whole point of her being there. But then the whole injury angle. But they saying that her injury is not as bad as it seemed, so she might be back in time for war games.
But it's gonna be really crazy of how they're gonna like they keep on bringing Rhea back. She's trying to heal, but
right.
but she
That's
goes
why
like
I
on a
said.
She gonna
That's
heal.
why I said like uh, until she could heal up and get 100%, let Liv and some other women take over the Raw division until she come back.
Right.
Mm,
They
That's what
rushing it.
that at this point. If she's too injured to come back for War Games, that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to let them come back. That's why I think they holding off on EO and Liv because this was announced, like I said on Friday, they announced that Rhea and Liv was going to be challenging Bianca Belair and them for the title. I think they're holding off to see if Rhea going to be able to come back to face
but
Liv for
but you
the
know
War
what?
Games at Survivor
But you,
Series. If not, I'm guessing it's going to be Io and Liv at Survivor Series for the title.
now what if during that tag match for some odd reason someone comes out there and
Nia Jax,
actually
we all know that. We all know that. Nia Jax and Tiffy gonna come out and beat up Liv and them. We all know that because Liv cost her the match. We all know that.
I
Liv
mean,
going Nia gonna beat the brakes off of Liv. I'm telling you, watch.
you talking about for the causing her to match at Crown Jewel?
Yeah, she gonna
Hmm.
come out because they just kind of lost, so they gonna come out and beat up. They're gonna cost them the match and let Bianca and them win, and then that's when Nia and Tiffy they're gonna beat the heck out of Liv and Raquel.
I'm still wondering why Nia Jax's belt looks so small, like a
Right,
WWE
that's
replica.
weird.
It's Naya, but
No, man, it's the belt. They gave her a different belt, man. They didn't give like look at the belt that you got on your shoulder a little bit, man. And then
mhm.
imagine the replica you get out the store. Well, actually, the WWE replica. That's the one
This
that's the
is a
one.
replica, but you mean like the toy belt that you get from the store?
Yeah, it definitely looks like that. Remember someone that was in the chat when we were doing the review for SmackDown last week, they actually mentioned that too. I was like, is it just me or the title that Nia Jax is holding looks smaller? 'Cause
It,
I don't
I
think
mean,
it's Nia Jax.
I ain't gonna say it doesn't look. It looks smaller, but I'm figuring because he was bigger, it looks smaller. Cause it looked it
No, no,
big.
no, not when I'm talking about she's holding it, not like when she hold on her shoulder, but I'm talking about she holds it in the air. You can see how small it is. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh my god, that title is small. No, am I
Yeah,
wrong?
your side one looked a little bit bigger. I don't know. Hers when she had it look bigger. Like I don't know.
Yeah, when
It
Bailey had
looks.
it,
She should have had
it
the
was a
other one.
decent size.
Yeah, she should have had the other belt that Liv got, and Liv should have had that belt. I felt like it would have looked better on her. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
Uh, yeah. But
just
the
like
thing
it's
is,
just like Cody's belt though,
with the
because Cody's
women's
belt look
world,
like it covers his
Yeah, his
whole
is
self there.
big. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's because he's small. He like well, he's kind of like smaller than the normal people that usually have that belt, so that's probably why.
My Cody.
But uh, but yeah, I think that for Liv, her being the women's world champion makes it looks better for her because it's like kind of ups her career status a little bit. It looks
that
good
too.
around her because it's like okay, she's not she's the women's world champion versus being the women's WWE champion, which I'm pretty well. She kind of technically it has both. She had both belts, even though the WWE Women's Championship was just the Women's SmackDown Championship, so you kind of had both belts,
Right,
making her Triple Crown champion. But
right.
uh, no, no, she would need one of the mid card titles to be a Triple Crown champion because she only had. Well, no, technically, yeah, she
What's
would be
not
a Triple Crown. She would be a Triple Crown champion because she had the SmackDown Women's Championship. She had the which is technically also the WWE Women's Championship, and then she had the Women's World Championship along with the Women's Tag Team Championship. So yeah, she'll be a Triple Crown champion.
so you remember when remember in the group chat we was talking about the like they never showed the belt, right? So what if us like say if us talk about the legends in the group chat. What is we gonna learn about what they're doing? Because it's been like almost 2 months. Like what are they supposed to be
And
doing? Like
and didn't we read something just like didn't we read something like on Thursday where they talked about they didn't like the belts haven't been made yet or whatever.
right, and they
And then
Yeah,
still
and then
they
and then
basically they was basically saying that that well it wasn't Thursday. I think I reiterated it, but it was a couple of weeks ago that the reports that when they revealed it was around when they revealed the Crown Jewel Championships that could remember everybody was saying, including people was talking about what happened to the mid card titles, and at that point they said that even if they were going to announce a mid card titles, the belts wasn't made yet. So, and then obviously weeks later, yeah. So this at the time it took for them to announce to show us this belt, that was enough time to make the belt. So
right.
enough time has passed from when they introduced
That
the
is
Crown Jewel Championship belts to now. Yeah, that was enough time to make the Unite because all you had to do is it's the same belt. It's the
right.
same title,
It
just
looks
with a
good
white
though.
strap.
oh yeah, it
So
does.
they don't take it. Don't. That's why they could do it so quickly because they gotta do is just take the one belt and make it with a white strap.
Yeah, and it was like one of the biggest surprises of the night, actually,
Yeah.
within the show, because like we didn't expect it, but as soon as Nick Aldis said the women's have been busting their butts night in and night out all across the world, I was like, oh shoot, And then after then, they angled the camera down at the belt. I was like, oh man,
When
here
he
we go.
started talking, I already had knew. I was like, "Yep, that's the belt."
Yeah, but I think the thing is, had they would have made a whole different belt or brought back like how they did with the tag
The
team belt,
Divas Championship.
That would have
Oh,
been
yeah,
hard.
I think they would have they it would have took them longer to make the belt. That's why then just making the same belt with a different strap. So that's why it happened so quick versus it taking a little bit longer because they just made the belt. I heard somebody say that that's why they do that because it saves them money and time. They don't have to. They could introduce new belts quickly if they just make the same belt with a different strap. If they want to
It's
do
a
something for the
Triple
women,
H.
it's lazy, but it's cheap and it's quick. Um, but that's it. That's all we got. That was our video. We talked about we gave you a whole segment talking about the new Women's United States Championship. We will see Monday if they introduce the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Yep.
Do we have to wait until they go to Netflix to see it? Which is not that long anyway, but you
not at
know
all.
Probably December
that's
for the
I
Saturday
mean,
night.
according to the reports that have been coming out since they announced the United States Championship, the Women's United States Championship, which was just from yesterday to now, is that either we're not going to get one, or either we're not going to get one for Raw. We is going to get one for Raw either next Monday or in the coming weeks, or possibly in January. So that's pretty much how it's going to go. Either we're going to get one this Monday. If we don't see one this Monday, the reports that say that means it's coming within the next couple of weeks.
But
Either that or it's going to
I
come
tell
in
you,
January.
I tell you this though. Uh, what's his name? What's it? Adam Pierce. He need to step up his game on Raw
He sure
because
do.
because Nick
Cause he
Aldis
is
is
good.
showing up and out.
Let
Um,
Stephanie take his job for real. Let's go, Stephanie.
no, she done. She ain't coming back.
That'll be
Yeah.
fire though. She do or wanted somebody.
She ain't coming back. She might come back like how she did for SummerSlam and just make appearances, but she not coming back. The demands in WWE is finished. It's done. And nobody, it's pretty much CM Punk was right. It was either going to be Triple H or Stephanie. And yeah, the McMahons are pretty much done. Vince McMahon killed the McMahons in the WWE. He killed all that. Um, but no, yeah, that's Nick. All this, I mean, Adam Pierce, his Monday Night Raw has been pretty good with Bronson Reed and all the stories they telling. I don't other than the women's mid card title, he ain't been doing a bad job, at least to me. Monday Night Raw, both Monday Night Raw. For me, I know people been saying is one or the other. People been going back and forth saying that either SmackDown has been the best show or Raw been the best show. To me, looking at everything we've been seeing, both shows are good. Ain't
Right.
Oh
one better
yeah.
than the other. One show, but SmackDown is not better than Raw. And actually, if anything, you know what? I'll take that back. If anything, NXT has been the best show. It hasn't really been much.
Exactly.
If anything, it's not about if Monday Night Raw was better than SmackDown, SmackDown better than Monday Night Raw. It's NXT that's been better than both shows. NXT has been the most interesting wrestling show that he's been doing in a long time. So if anything,
I don't know what Sean got. I don't know what Sean be doing, man. But Sean be doing something.
if
Right.
anything, y'all statements would be Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce need to step it up because their shows are not as good as NXT. And especially what they did this Wednesday. No, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Especially,
yeah.
especially with especially that other show too. All elderly wrestling.
But yeah, we about to get out of here. That's all we got. We've been on here long enough. Um, let's see. We're gonna do it like this. so you can see our names. But first and foremost, get over to the Wrestling Pit podcast. And if you already haven't, get over there and subscribe. We want you to run that subscribe button up so that we could get to 500 subscribers. Actually, hopefully, I'm going to go check because the subscribe button should have been running on while we've been on live. Y'all should have been getting on the live. Y'all should have been subscribing. Y'all should have been doing all that type of stuff. Run that up to 500 subscribers. Hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button because this is what brings you these type of videos. And we need your support to keep doing it. As always, now that we got the Wrestling Pit podcast out the way, you see my man right here, Khris Wrestling Views, right? Get over there and subscribe. Big man Khris is almost to that 100,000 subscriber mark where he get that beautiful YouTube plaque. So get over there, subscribe. You see his name, Khris Wrestling Views. Sorry, hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, do all that so he could get to that 100,000 subscriber mark. Get that man there. We want to see him do that video where he can finally put that YouTube plaque up. Then you see Shay down there. Know the rules, right? You see her name. Know the rules. Get over there, subscribe to her channel. Hit the like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. Run her up to 500 subscribers as well. Hey, we all trying to make it on this YouTube platform. We love what we do, right? And then you see me, Little Big Man Gaming, where I do gameplays, I do reactions, I do wrestling videos, I do all types.
Have you did some more? Have you did some more Call of Duty?
Yeah, I did a day or two ago. I just did my second video. I might do another one here in the few for. I'm either gonna do one later on in the next hour, or I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Either or I'm between later on tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna do another Call of Duty live. But yeah, I got 2 of them up on my channel so far.
Okay, I'll check out the latest one.
Yeah, but yeah, get over to my channel, hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. Do all those great things for me. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. And then we can go from there. For the people who wasn't here, shout out to main man Hector. Get over to Jeff Wrestling 23. Hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button for him. Get him up to 500 subscribers. Shout out to Kicking It with Leo. Get over to his channel too and hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, do all those great things for him. And again, that's Kicking It with Leo. Also, Punch, who cannot be here. Get over to his channel. I think it is No Regrets. Get over there and subscribe where he do hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button where he do music and wrestling videos as well. And yeah, that's the Wrestling Pit crew. We gave you a good video. So as we always like to say when we sign out, Wrestling Pit podcast, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it.